Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Soto here by himself because his stuff actually works. RJ is off. I don't know what he's doing. He can't get his swap meat mixer to work, but my stuff works, and I'm here just for you guys. All right. The bad guys lose once again. I hate losing. Number one, I hate losing. I hate losing to the freaking Chargers. And I even hate more than all of that, we got swept in the AFC West. Silver lining, aluminum lining, because it is not even a silver lining. All three of the teams, other than us in the AFC West, made the playoffs. They all have a quarterback. They all have a good head coach. Surprise, surprise. Well, there's a lot of stuff left to be kind of figured out. There's a reason why the team has so much cap, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to the implications of this loss. We're going to get to coaching vacancies. We're going to get to just the whirlwind that happened in New England. We're going to get to our draft position. We're going to get to a lot of stuff. We get to the game, everything. But first and foremost, I want to say, and we've been slacking on our pimping, but everybody, please make sure like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's the least you can do besides doing absolutely nothing to help this channel grow. Let's get to 10K. I know RJ and I are not, tween girls, and we don't know about social media and all this other junk. This is not our like main job. Okay. This is like the third thing that I do and the third thing that RJ does. But I would like to get to 10K. I think 10K is doable. We're about 300 away, something like that. So let's get to 10K ASAP. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. Anybody you know who's a Raider fan out there, tell them about the autumn Windbags. We're the best thing going today. Okay, enough of that. But this is going to be a venting session for everyone. All right? Let's try to keep the I told you so's to a minimum, because for everything that I hear somebody say that they were right on, they were wrong about 4 other things. We're going to talk about here going forward. Talk about the game, talk about the season overall, but let's get it out. This is what we're here for. All right? This is definitely what we're here for. Turco, thanks, buddy. Much appreciated, man. Keith Pardini, Mayo fired. I bet Vrabel goes to New England. Yeah, that's the whirlwind happening in New England. I mean, I don't even think that the players were like showered and freaking shaved yet after the game before Mayo was fired. I mean, that was pretty damn quick. I think he just walked in, like, Kraft is just like, come here. That happened to me one time. All right. It sounds weird having been so far out of like school, but like you couldn't kiss in school. Like, you couldn't kiss your girlfriend. If you got caught kissing like your girlfriend in high school, like, you would get like detention or a demerit or something like that, right? So I was kissing a chick and I got in trouble, and somebody saw me and ratted me out, like one of the lunch people or whatever. So I walked my girlfriend at the time, to her class. Then I'm walking to my class, and before I even sat down, my teacher was like this, come here. Sent me to the office, had to sign my slip. Damn. That's exactly what happened to Mayo. 3, 2, 1, bing, triple zeros on the clock. Shakes everyone's hands. Have a good off season, blah, 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 woody woo. Talking to the Bills, good luck in the playoffs, this and that. Goes into the locker room, and I don't even think he sat down. I don't even think he gave the post-game speech. And Robert Kraft was like this, come here. And he was gone. Oh, he gonna cry in the car. True Raider. AP crying in his Impala on hood. Yeah, he gonna cry in the car. Him and Red are gonna cry in that car. All we need is Debo to come out from the grave and steal his chain. Raiders solo, AP Presser told it all. He's definitely not going to be here next season. You know what? I don't think he expects to be back. To be honest with you, I really do. Honestly, I think that AP knows he's in over his head. I think that he knows that there's a lot of things that he doesn't know, and there's a lot of things he's not good at. It's very difficult to learn on the job as a head coach in the NFL. You want to be able to hit the ground running and pull from some experience. Unfortunately, Antonio Pierce doesn't have that experience. It's tough, man. It's tough. Look, it was definitely a.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Josh McDaniels running my audio?
It was definitely a shot in the dark. I think RJ can agree. We all were on board with the AP hiring, considering how they played last year. I was a little bit nervous. I made this video before the season started called "Why the NFL Hates the Raiders," and I outlined it. Go back and check it. I outlined all the things that were like statistical anomalies that just can't be replicated. Just our third down conversion percentage in field goal range, our field goal percentage, our turnover percentage, our turnover margin, our red zone percentage. We were like 100%. It was just weird things that happened that just it can't be duplicated because they're not like things that are like a lot of skill based. A lot of it was just a lot of just luck and just the way things fell. So we were all hopeful. I think we were all hopeful for AP this year, and I hope that we all can kind of just take a step back and say, you know what? Look at the teams that are in the playoffs, and what is the common theme here? You have experienced, solid coaches. You have good quarterbacks. You have stable franchises. Like, the Colts aren't making the playoffs, right? There's a lot of these teams out there who aren't making the playoffs, and they're just – and look at a good, stable franchise for a lot of years, okay? New England Patriots. Gerard Mayo didn't even get into the locker room. RJ, I don't know if you heard. I was telling a story about when I was in high school, and one of the lunch monitors caught me kissing my girlfriend, taking her to her class after lunch. I didn't even get to sit down. I went straight to my class, and my teacher went like this. Like, oh, damn it. I didn't even get to sit down. That was Robert Kraft to Gerard Mayo after the game. Mayo didn't even get to sit down.
You went to a school where you couldn't kiss a girl?
No, we couldn't kiss like in public. No.
Go to a Catholic school?
No, it was a regular school,
Women's
but
school?
can't be having you freaking banging your chick in the freaking hallway.
Well, you know why, right? It's like they're making a move on Vrabel ASAP. It's like that's the thing. Started immediately.
I said it about the quarterback a long time ago. Finding out who the guy is and finding out who not the guy is just as important. If you have a guy and he's not the guy and you stick with him, that's just as bad as not having the guy and not going to look for him. They knew that Gerard Mayo wasn't going to be the guy. They knew that Gerard Mayo needed more seasoning. He didn't have it, and they got rid of him right away. Mm-hmm. Why mess around? And that's a stable franchise. And they knew that the Belichick thing was kind of over because he was kind of going downhill and his message was kind of stale, and he was kind of lost touch with like some of the younger pro players in the NFL. So they made the switch. Gerard Mayo was groomed. He didn't have, the seasoning. He didn't have the experience as a head coach. Go get it. Maybe come back later, right? And when they figured out that this wasn't the guy, he was gone. Raiders have to do the same thing. They figure out that AP is not the guy. He's got to go.
I mean, being decisive like that isn't a Mark Davis thing, right? It's a Robert Kraft thing. But it's not really a Mark Davis thing. Like, hold on. Let's get everyone together. Let's kumbaya. Let's get together at PF Chang's. And let's not even talk football until we get through the appetizers. Shit like that, right? It's like you need assertive leadership. And what's been missing from the Raiders, at least John Gruden brought assertive leadership, right? Like that was kind of like, obviously his GMing was atrocious, but he brought like, all right, this is what I want. This is how we're going to get there. And that was something. There was like a direction, there was like a general and a direction.
He was experienced. He knew what he was doing as a head coach, and he was a good play caller.
And then with the Raiders, it's, we'll figure it out over some wontons. And then, We'll talk about it. And
this is ridiculous. If
let me MySpace message some of my old players, figure it out. Well, all you tankers are happy, right? Chargers whooped up the Raiders 34-20. Going into today, it was Browns, Pats, Titans, Giants, Jags, Panthers, Jets, Raiders, Bears, Saints. We could have drafted as low as 10 if everything didn't go our way. Browns lost. That was yesterday. Pats won. That was good for us. Titans lost. Giants lost. Jags lost. Panthers won. Good for us. Jets won. Good for us. Raiders lost. Good for us for the tankers. Bears won. Saints lost. So now the draft positions are in. The draft poll is in. The Raiders will draft 6. They had the toughest record of the 3 teams that were 4-13. So they are behind New England and Jacksonville. So final draft order heading to the Raiders: Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Vegas at number 6. It feels like it's outside of Shedeur Cam. Probably is, but it's like just close enough where the tank gets tickled a little bit and you start maybe thinking about it. Judging by your silence that I shocked you with what I said?
No, I was that was kind of a weird transition. I didn't know that you were expecting me to say something. It just
I stopped talking. It's the hint.
Okay, smartass.
Don't get mad at me because the Raiders suck. I didn't do it.
I'm not mad at you whatsoever. I'm mad at you because you're a dick. So Cleveland, the top 3 teams will probably be looking really hard at quarterback. Probably. I think that they've seen plenty of Tennessee has seen plenty of Will Levis, and the Giants definitely are taking a quarterback. Cleveland, I mean, if they're smart, they'll take one and just put a guy that's really inexpensive behind the abortion of the contract that is Deshaun Watson. And so it doesn't look good for us staying put at 6 to get one of the top quarterbacks, but ultimately, the more I watch tape, the more I watch what's going on. I don't really see Jackson Dart as being that too far behind these guys. I think it'll be all right. I think, and also when True Raider said it best, prime example as to why you should spend time with your son. Al didn't, and all of this is Mark's fault. If you would just give him a little bit of knowledge.
Al did the opposite. Al was just like, Al straight up said publicly, like, this doofus can't run a team.
This kid's an idiot. Yeah, he told everybody in the organization that Mark was a fucking dumbass.
Well, can't say Al wasn't wise. Bad dad, wise evaluator of talent, especially with his own blood. Sam Demand, thank you so much for the super chat. We should see what they want for JJ McCarthy. I mean, that call absolutely needs to be made. I'm 100% you make that call. Especially all dependent.
Kick every rock over. You scour every opportunity to get an upgrade.
Like if the Vikings
have all the answers, you pick the best answer.
If the Vikings go to the Super Bowl, it's like you're not moving on from Sam Darnold. I mean, you can't do it. You almost can't do it now. If you go to the Super Bowl, you definitely can't. So you keep Sam Darnold around, whether that's a long-term extension or it's a franchise tag or something like that. He's not going anywhere, which means JJ McCarthy should be on the block. Soto and I have discussed this a couple times. Soto thinks they're going to stick with both guys. I think
I didn't say I said there is a possibility and a legitimate reason why they would.
Yeah, I can see the reason why. It's kind of like who wins out in the argument, the coach or the GM, right? The GM's like, we got massive value with JJ McCarthy, especially with a very poor quarterback pool in the draft this season. Not a lot of interesting free agent quarterbacks that are available. Probably anyone with a decent quarterback. There's no room for a trade at all. It is a seller's market if you have even a glimpse of a potential starting quarterback. And so the time to strike,
dude,
would be now.
You know who else? Fucking Joe Milton. Did you see some of those throws that he made today? Holy crap.
He was moving, man.
Dude,
he was slinging and moving.
Oh, my God. He threw across his body, running out of bounds across the middle of the field, and that's like a big no-no. And he threw it between 3 players for a touchdown on a freaking line. It's just freaking That's why I say, man, you got to draft talent. You got to draft talent.
It's way too early to know how drafts are going to go. Remember, like the week before the draft, we're like, all right, should we maybe wait till like early round 2 and trade up to get Penix because there's a good chance he'll be there, right? 6 quarterbacks go before we pick. This idea that we're like, all right, well, we're out of it now. No way. It just moves too fast, man. It just moves too fast. Like Jackson Dart went from like nobody was talking about him, and then he played like a good bowl game, and everyone's like, oh wow, interesting. Because markets shift. It's not like guys get worse or better. It's people get so desperate for quarterbacks that you start because like at week like 12, right? We're like, okay, we definitely have to figure out who our QB1 is going to be next season. And when you start really doing the math, well, it's like, all right, Shador, Cam, and then whatever happens in Minnesota. And then there's just like a Grand Canyon of space till like the number 4 guy. Whoever the number 4 guy is, guys start getting more interested. Because the team that like the three teams that are able to get those 3 quarterbacks for whatever reason, that 4th team that needs a quarterback is gonna get a quarterback. They're gonna get them. Whether they're stretching or overpaying or overdrafting, they're gonna get one. Or at least really, really attempt to get one. So that's what dictates this stuff. It's rarely talent. It's rarely skill set. It's market. It's the quarterback needy teams and how desperate are the GMs and team presidents.
Yeah, I think Dart's moving up because he's in an SEC program, but it's not like one of the elite SEC programs out there at Ole Miss. He had a good year. He's in a very quarterback-friendly offense. But you take a look at the teams that he's played and the numbers he's put up. He puts up a big game in a bowl game, like a national bowl game, all eyes on him type of game. All right, let's take a look at this guy. Oh, okay, I see. Here are the tools. Here are the traits that he has. Okay. And that's more than anything why he's moving up the draft boards. I think Kuiper has him as the 3rd quarterback now, behind Shador and Ward.
He was like 7th a month ago on Kuiper's board.
I'm telling you, I said it in the last show that those guys are all jumbled up together. They have different traits, but as far as overall, they're all jumbled up. But
I think Kuiper also reads the tea leaves because like he wants to be right. He's like, oh, everyone's talking about Jackson Dart. I better put him on there. So like my board like tries to get close to what's actually going to happen in April.
That's what his job is to be right, is to put the players where he thinks they're going to go. As far as, he can do it in his own, like, that's mainly what his big board is. These are the players that I see. But when he does his like mocks and stuff, that's all what there's nothing to do with what he thinks. It's what he thinks the teams are going to do. Oh, buddy.
Can we talk about how Aidan O'Connell gets sacked and looks like a baby deer that just got shot by a rifle? Like, he's got to learn how to fall, dude.
I'm so sick of having to freaking talk about Aidan O'Connell as a genuine long-term answer at quarterback.
The very first lesson you learn when you go to judo as a little kid is how to get slammed. That's your very first lesson because you're going to get thrown and you don't want to get hurt when you do it. And it doesn't take long to get it. You keep your chin to your chest. You use your hand to block. You try to spread out your weight. 5-year-olds learn how to do that, right? Someone needs to teach Aidan O'Connell how to get sacked because he goes down and it's like, let me start with my ACL, then move on to my meniscus, then move on to my rotator cuff. And everything like twists and bends and falls when he gets down and a 300-pound defensive end is on him.
He just wants to fall on his knees. Just every single time.
Grab the ball, turn, go down. Chin down, and roll. It's real simple. Protect the ball, number 1, chin down, rotate. But he's just like trying to like land on limbs that let me land with my like primary organs and crucial tendons. It's like, ugh. Like hurts. Like I feel my body. I'm 41. I feel my body twinging when I see him get sacked.
Dude, I thought he was going to pop a hip open when he got sacked that one time. He landed straight on his knees. I'm just like, this guy just is. If it keeps happening over and over again, that's a him problem. That's a him issue.
Get like a high school wrestling coach and just give him like 45 minutes. It's like, hey, bro, go down this way, right? Save your tendons, please. Like it's hurting RJ's eyes to watch you get sacked like that. Speaking of Farva, 24 of 34, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Kind of a standard game from Farva. I mean, this was the number 1 scoring defense in football, so it was going to be a rough go, and it certainly was. The interception to Madison, that looked like miscommunication. I don't know if it was Farva's fault or Madison, but he was moving and just kind of stopped and found the zone, and Farva overthrew him. So I don't know if he was supposed to keep going and Madison screwed up, or he was supposed to sit in the zone and Farva screwed up. I don't know which one. But that was the interception. Nice touchdown, couple nice touchdown passes. Again, couple really good throws.
He had one nice touchdown pass, and then he had Brock Bowers get a touchdown pass, breaking 3 tackles.
Well, it was also that DB was the dumbass, like trying to go for the ball when he was like a yard and a half away. I forgot which corner it was, but he was just like he went for the ball 2 yards out of position. You're like, okay, Brock's like, I'm gonna make you pay. He did stay on his feet great though. That was a really good balancing act by Brock. Anything else? Farva has decreased his like face palm mistakes, like the like delay of games and kind of like that rookie stuff. Like you have seen growth, a little like incremental growth there, which is good to see. But again, it all comes down to physical traits, and can he just get over a weak arm and sludgy legs? Yeah, like everything else has to be a 9.5 out of 10 to go over that. But he is progressing, which is semi-shocking considering he's had 4 different play callers in his 2 seasons.
I mean, he's getting a lot more experience, and he's smart enough. That's his main attribute. His high-end trait is his smarts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting better. He's improving. The issue is that ceiling just isn't that high, because when he has to rely on his physical tools, they're just not there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if we can put his brain into like even Desmond Ridder, who has a better arm, who's a lot more mobile, it would be a huge upgrade. But unfortunately, it's not. He's just not it. It's just not it. We need more. If you look, let's take a peek, shall we? Take a peek here at these quarterbacks
Shan't we?
Into the NFL. Let's see here. Let's see quarterbacks in the NFL. All right. Let's see. We got Mahomes and Goff and Darnold and what's his name? Josh Allen. Okay, got Hurts and Lamar and freaking Daniels and Herbert, Love, Stafford, Ruffle, Nix, Baker, and CJ Stroud. So they're all pretty damn good quarterbacks, man. They got good physical tools, good physical traits. Almost every single one of them are mobile, can move. I think maybe only Stafford is the one that really just can't move around at all. All the other guys can move around. Goff is probably the next one on the list.
Is there anything more dominant than Bo Nix versus Chiefs backups?
God, dude.
I don't know what it was. My CBS affiliate kept changing my feed. Like I was just watching on a antenna in LA, because like that's the good thing about playing the Chargers is it's carried on CBS, and it kept flopping over to the Kansas City Denver game. I think it was just CBS playing a prank on me, just like to make sure I need to be miserable to like watch the whole AFC West and realize there's like 3 Hall of Fame coaches, 3 quality quarterbacks, 3 teams going to the playoffs, and then us bringing up the caboose.
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
CBS.
We just
fuck you. We don't need that many NCISs. All right.
I know, NCIS everything. NCIS San Bernardino, they got all kinds of stuff.
Is there a worse, like there isn't one watchable program on CBS?
I don't watch
all
CBS
those
whatsoever.
Like, dude, it's like the only reason I know what's on there was back when they had the SEC and you'd watch CBS games, and then when they carry the AFC, it's like 2.5 Men, 2 Broke Girls, NCIS Rotterdam. You're just like, who watches this shit? You're like, oh yeah, 60-year-olds. That's it.
Yeah. What was that one? Blue Bloods with freaking Tom Selleck?
Yeah.
Like, who the hell watches this nonsense?
It's all the same show.
Yeah, it's literally it's just recycled different characters, different settings.
It's a sitcom based in an apartment with two unfunny people, a crime investigation show, and then like a drama of rich people. And they just wrote, it's like this, just like with different spray paint over it. Come on, who watches this shit? Sam Demand, thank you again for the super chat. I drank for 11 days straight in Mexico. Gotta do the dry January like RJ. My liver would thank me, but I have no willpower though. 5 days into dry January. The trick is you have to find an alternative beverage. Because I don't know about you, but when I go to the grocery store, if I'm not buying a 12-pack of some kind of beverage, like I start getting like tingly. You know what I mean? It's like my spider sense starts going off. So last year it was Celsius, which I enjoyed. This year the wife got me on I think it's called Poppy, Poppi, and it's like a probiotic soda. Like you got to drink something. I've been trying that out for 2 days. I'll let you guys. No one's sponsoring us. I'm just giving you guys some help. But you gotta find a replacement. You know what I mean? It's like when smokers try to quit smoking and they just chew on a toothpick. You need that. You need something in your hand. Because it's that motion in the ocean. God bless you, Sam Demand. We're in this together. We're a team. I didn't think that there was any scenario. Like it could have been like this game could have been like the Thursday night game against the Chargers last season where we put up 63, and I didn't see any scenario where Antonio Pierce keeps his job, even if that happened. There was some national media that was kind of talking about it. I think that was just kind of dragging everyone along. Drama.
There's no way he's going to keep.
I think it was just kind of like trying to make sure that.
Go ahead and talk. I'm going to go ahead and watch this this post game press conference everyone's been talking about.
So I didn't think there was any scenario where Antonio Pierce keeps his job today, but that was kind of bantered about. Certainly not this game. He's going to have you keep your job. Although it actually was one of the better Antonio Pierce coached games, ironically, despite the fact we got our dicks kicked in. That 3rd and 1 in the first quarter when there were too many men on the field and AP called the timeout before that happened. The perfect coach would have not let there be 12 men on the field to begin with on 3rd and 1, but he saw it, acted decisively, and made his move and did that. Other than that, there was no like face palm, I can't believe he did that again type of mistakes from Antonio Pierce, which is good. Certainly not enough to make you keep your job. So the timer is on. We'll take some that should be the question of the day. When does Antonio Pierce get fired? And if you don't think he's getting fired, speak now. And let it be known that you called it. But with Jared Mayo getting fired 45 minutes ago and the coaching cycle moving and guys are trying to get Vrabel, guys are trying to get the quality coaches, and you want to send a message to these coaches, right? You want to be like, we want you so bad. We fired our head coach when he was taking a dump in the locker room right when the game was over. Like he tried to hide from us. We knocked on that stall door and got him out and handed him his walking papers. Like you want to send that message to the really, really high-end coaches. If Tom Brady isn't right this second stalking Mike Vrabel, he's not doing his job. And that tells me he doesn't want to be, a day-to-day really in charge type of guy. He just wants to kind of be owner's box, ask me some advice. I'll tell you it, but I really just kind of want to travel the world banging Instagram models and calling games for Fox. I don't really want to be like day-to-day, hands-on, my fingerprints on everything in the Raiders organization. If Tom Brady wants that, he needs to be on the horn right meow.
He gone.
Right meow.
AP gone.
They fired him?
When you watch it, you'll see it.
From AP talking?
Oh, yeah.
He sounds like a guy that's been defeated?
Yeah.
There's no way they told him he's fired and he's still there. That can't... Is that really what's happening?
I don't think that. I don't think they told Mayo he was going to get fired after the game either. I mean, before the game either. But I just think you just know.
Oh, okay. So you don't think they told him he's fired and he's still in the presser? It's like he knows.
I think he knows he's going to be fired, but no one's told him that yet. But he's, you know.
It's like Aaron Rodgers is retired, but no one told him yet, type of thing. That's AP. Dead man walking. Johnny Gones, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thanks for another Windbaggery season, boys. Give me Monk and head coach. Carter in first, Dart in second, Beck in third. First one to die loses. That's a way to do it. Blood match. That's was it?
There's
like
there's a lot of good offensive coaches out there, man. There's a lot of good guys out there that are going to get some good looks. I mean, of course, there's Ben Johnson out there who's like the belle of the ball, but there's a lot of other guys, man. Arthur Smith did a really good job. And Liam Cohen from the Bucks. Byron Leftwich wants to get back in there and coach. There's
Byron Leftwich's marketing team is all about it. Like they did a whole feature on him on The Athletic. Like that clearly wasn't just like, oh, what's Byron Leftwich doing? It's his like he hired a new agent and they're like, all right, let's get you a feature on The Athletic. Like Byron Leftwich wants back in.
Boy, dude.
For sure. Sanjeet, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat.
You just text me,
How
dude.
You doing?
Give us $5.
Well, he knows the only way.
What do you guys think of the Raiders?
You'll talk to him for free, but he needs to pay. He needs to pay me $5 for me to respond.
Okay. What do you guys think of the Raiders drafting someone like Abdul Carter, T-Mac, or Josh Connerly? I love Josh Connerly. Oregon has two offensive linemen. There's Cornelius and there's Connerly. Two guys that are freaking legit. If all are available, I think Connerly might even be pushed back a little bit further in the first, maybe into the second. But if all three are available, depending on what happens with Maxx Crosby, I would go T-Mac, Carter, Connerly.
Our defensive end room is weird because then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, if we keep the free agents, got super deep. Especially if Tyree Wilson can. We've been saying this for 2 seasons. Like if Tyree Wilson can like turn into something, and he's like steadily improving, but not the way a guy drafted that high should. Like, but if he could get something going, and Maxx, gets his call from Tom Brady and gets more patient, and then all these random like scrap heap dudes that develop behind us. If we keep Kuntz, right, he needs to be re-signed.
Yeah, I don't think Kuntz is as valuable to anybody else in the NFL as he is to us.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that about just about everybody. That's kind of semi-chopping block, but all it takes is one GM to make an offer he can't refuse. Because you can never have too many awesome defensive ends. Like this, an embarrassment of riches, but it's just a weird position. But then you go with Tom Telesco is like best player available, right? I don't care if we have 5 all-pro defensive ends. If he thinks Abdul Carter is the best defensive end best player on the board, no matter what.
I want to be mad at a dude because
fucking do it.
Stud. Yeah. Look, ultimately, I think he would be either second or third behind Maxx as far as defensive ends go. Coming in as a rookie. The guy's a freaking stud. Now, the thing is he has a little bit of Kuntz syndrome where he's just kind of like, I mean, he was able to stop the run in college, but pro offensive lineman a little bit different. I think he would be a stud coming out right away.
Spivvy, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Member for 8 months. Great content. Keep it up. I don't know why this is green.
Spivey, why do you look like Mac's dad from with no mustache from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
That's a deep pull.
He looks just like him, just to put the mustache on.
With all the face tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
He's like always trying to get his dad to love him, but couldn't.
He's going to eat
what a great
his
show.
butt and my butt until his stomach is full of our butts. He says he's going to eat our butts until the room stinks.
I mean, I can't really disagree with Tom Telesco's like blessed best player available strategy when it turned into 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3 starters. And then Brock Bowers. Again, I don't know if you talked about it when Decepticons were still attacking my mic. Brock Bowers basically completely rewrote the record books for receiving yards in a rookie year. Most receiving yards ever for a rookie, regardless of position. broke the Raiders record, both the tight ends record, both the all-time Raiders record, just bending over and smacking every reception record that a rookie can have. He won't get offensive rookie of the year. That's going to be disappointing for me, I think, for everybody, but he will be all pro. He's already first team on the Pro Bowl, broke all these records. God bless him.
There's really no other choice.
That was still the most shocking first round draft pick from the Raiders I've ever experienced. And not that we haven't had worse. Like, obviously, you and I, Soto, we've been like, what the fuck with some picks before. But that's like kind of par for the course. I've been disappointed, but I kind of saw it coming. But between like a draft that was so stacked at tackle and corner, two positions we desperately needed, and they were all on the board, and Telesco's like, fucking stand his ground. He's like, nope, BPAFU. I don't care what you want. I was just like, another tight end. I never.
You see who was drafted after Bowers? He was BPA by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bowers was probably the second, third best player in the whole entire draft.
And I was just like, I was just flattened, and what a pick it was. I know one draft doesn't make or break anybody, and we know Telesco's history with the Chargers, but if anyone's earned a little bit of faith in this organization on that side, like any non-player, it goes Patrick Graham number 1, Tom Telesco number 2. It's like a little faith. If it's some head scratching, you screw up, we'll point it out. We disagree, we'll let you know. But certain people, it's like, okay, you've earned the benefit of the doubt a little bit. And Patrick Graham and Tom Telesco both have.
Yeah, it's just when you have a more balanced view of things, you can take a look back and you can take a look at the entire roster and you can say, yeah, there's a lot of holes on this roster. We just need good players. We just need to get good, strong, solid players to come out here, and we'll figure it out. And just like a good coach will be able to do great things or get the best out of the players he has, a good GM is going to kind of walk that tightrope between BPA and need. And I don't know that we are in the position to go after specific need with a lot of the holes that we have on this roster. And I mean, we have $110 million in cap space because we have 27 free agents. It's going to take a lot for us to steady the ship a little bit. There's still a lot of holes on this roster, and we don't have any business trading up because we're not. That's not the final piece of the puzzle for us. We just need a better overall team that's deeper. I think that a lot of the experience that the young players have gotten this year is going to help us moving forward. I think it'll help us with some free agency decisions, but also it's going to be good for us moving forward because those guys have experience. We know what to expect from them, this and that, and it's going to help our depth. But getting those high-end talents, man, those high-end traits. We need high-end traits, man. We need it.
Well, and if you get a really good player, it's a cheat code because it makes everyone else around them better, right? Like Michael Mayer had his best game in a long time today because everyone was double teaming Brock Bowers. And he kind of looks like when they're both suited up, they kind of look the same. 87, 89, big hulking white dudes, about the same size, same height. Like whoever, I was like kind of half joking in my head when watching the game, but I was like, a really smart whoever our offensive coordinator is next season, a really smart move would like stack the two and see if you can get the defense confused on which one's which. Because I get a little bit like watching the game because the 7 kind of looks like a 9. They're both kind of the same size. Like there was multiple catches Mayer made. I'm like, oh, another one for Brock. I'm like, oh no, wait, shit, that's Mayer. You can do that. And he's making like with the quarterbacks that Brock had throwing to him, and he still shattered every single record. Like he's going to make quarterbacks better. He's going to make Mayer better. He's going to make the entire offense better. When he starts he's still young. When his blocking gets on par, his blocking is going to continue to get better. This is what he's going to be able to do there. It's like, those are cheat codes. It's like, yeah, maybe our running back room is terrible, but Brock Bowers can make him better. Yeah, we need some more wide receivers. Yeah, well, if Brock's double teamed, guys get open. Jacoby Meyer had his best season ever. with Desmond Ritter, Farva, and Gardner Minshew throwing to him, and 2 different offensive coordinators, and his best season ever because everyone's double teaming Brock, and Jacoby's grossly underrated too.
Yeah, it's a good place to start, man. Boy, Decam Richardson, after having a couple of really nice games, got absolutely freaking prison raped today by Quentin Johnston, dude.
Quentin had a game.
Oh God, dude.
Jesus.
Quentin Johnston,
13 receptions, 186 yards.
God damn.
That one-handed, left-handed grab that he did.
Grab him, boys. Hurry up.
That was beautiful.
Hurry up and grab him. Put up for grabs. Get him.
Bivy is the autumn windbag Santa Claus. We're just the elves.
Spivey, you're the freaking man, dude. It was that Mac comment, wasn't it? You knew what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's take a you were listening to the presser. You want to start taking bets on when AP gets fired? Does he make it to the night?
Tomorrow. Either tonight or tomorrow. Yeah.
Is he getting walked into Mark Davis's office now to get fired as we speak?
Probably, yeah. I mean, he said no comment about. He was asked. I was listening to it, and he was asked, all those things swirling around your job and this and that, and the job security and blah blah blah. And he didn't say what he said normally, which was, "I'm under contract." He said no comment. So
he said that, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah, I just work here, type of thing. But no, for long. Usually, my finger's pretty good on the pulse of what's going to happen with these coaches. And I called what was it, Josh McDaniels on Halloween last year. I'm like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they if Josh McDaniels knocks on does a trick or treat on Mark Davis does a trick or treat on his office and fires him tonight, and he actually fired him that night. But
Josh McDaniels was dressed up as a real NFL coach when he was trick or treating.
Wait a second, where's Josh McDaniels? Yeah, so it's just it's probably going to be tomorrow. It's probably going to be tomorrow. I think they're going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, I think Mark Davis is going to he's going to call his crew. He's going to call his guys. He's going to call Tom Brady. That's the only reason I think maybe he'll last to Tuesday, because that's how Mark Davis works. Because Halloween was on a Tuesday, right? So it was 2 days after. It was Monday night.
Right, it was Tuesday.
It's Tuesday night, right? So it was 2 days, right? 2 days till he got fired.
Guys, put that auto subscript on. It's $3, okay? Freaking goddamn. You guys spend more on OnlyFans models that you don't even watch anymore.
Soto, one hell of a salesman. Come on, just do it. Shit.
I'm not going to do a freaking sales pitch to these guys. These guys know what we bring to the table, okay? We're screwing around.
Dictionary salesman, huh?
Archer's working with a freaking a mixer he bought from a crackhead behind his house. Can't even get it to work.
The guy who sold it to me seems like a real straight shooter. You're telling me the drug dealer didn't sound like a good guy?
Our Doug is a white.
Whoa. Easy with that shit. Not you, Doug. White Doug. Or Black Doug. Whoa. Easy with that shit.
Yeah, you're watching with that shit, man.
What movie is that from? This should be quick. There we go. That'd be
nice, Dominique.
So quick on the trigger.
So
not you, Doug. Black Doug. Whoa. Shit.
I could be your Doug.
Why is it called roofies? More like the end on the floor than the roof. It should be called floories. So let's make an official prediction. I'm gonna say Tuesday morning we wake up. Patrick Graham. AP's fired. That's my prediction. Tuesday morning we wake up and he's fired.
Wait, can we stop for a second and appreciate Ron Dallas's picture?
Gym selfie?
He's got the gym flexing gym selfie, which is fucking amazing, and the flat bill combo.
Gym selfie, something new.
Oh man, I wish I had that kind of confidence, bro. I just can't do it.
We don't have the arms either.
What?
Ron's glistening. That is great
He's
lighting.
Oiled up, bro.
I'm jealous of that lighting.
That's some good planning right there.
Well, and he also did the pump too. He did his full arm set, and then go.
He's in front of the 40s or 30s? He did a couple
oldest
of sets.
trick in the book. It's like before you send a dick pic, you give yourself kind of like a half chub. So it's
you
like,
get a little blood in it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just kind of get an extra girth. That's the photo version of that. It's like when you catch a fish, right? You got to hold it way ahead of you when you're taking a photo so it looks bigger. You don't hold it like this. You hold it like this. That's the dick version. This is the muscles version.
Good for you, man.
Let us know in the comment section when you think Antonio Pierce gets fired. Let's take some predictions. I'm going to say we wake up Tuesday morning to the news. Soto, what say you? Damn it, you're on the other side. It's confusing. Soto, what say you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
tonight
or tomorrow. It's not going to take long. I think that just from his body language and demeanor, he was just very like, they were asking him questions about the future, like how does this feel? About what do you think about the young players getting more playing time and stuff like that? And he didn't talk about the future. He just talked about what was happening right then and there. Yeah. And a couple things like, he no commented and just dipped out of the freaking press conference. I think he wanted to get back to the team. He wanted to give him his speech, and he just wanted to get it over with. Because I think he knows at any time he's going to get the call to the principal's office.
Make your predictions, guys. Speak now. Forever hold your peace. Be able to say you were right. We love doing that.
Dude, Ron, you're the freaking man, Ron. We're teasing you a little bit, kind of halfly, and you freaking laugh at it, bro. That's amazing, dude.
I mean, we're also polishing his knob with how buff he is, so it's kind of
he got some pipes on him, dude.
Yeah, I think so. When Graham wants out, maybe, definitely for sure, maybe.
Well, Graham, look, here's the thing, Graham. Here's the thing. My thing is this. Graham, if he wants to go to a position that's going to offer him the ability to have a highlight on him, I think staying with the Raiders is probably his best bet. They didn't do that well this year defensively. He's going to get a lot of players back from injury next season. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of young pieces to work with, especially on the defensive line. They already know his system. He found a burgeoning freaking stud in Isaiah Polamau in the secondary. He's got a couple of guys in the secondary that are, some corners that are just going to be really good as they get older. It's his best bet to have a highlight shown on him is to stay with the Raiders because of the players coming back, the players he already has, and they already know his system. He goes somewhere else, and I think it's going to start his clock over again. But he could also want to get the stink off of him too.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is just contract negotiations. Just deploy. When it's big money, big talk, you make big moves. I'm hoping that's what this is. It is very real that he's just like, look, man, I don't trust this place. The guy that brought me in, Josh McDaniels, he's gone. Actually, Josh McDaniels' best contribution to the Raiders was bringing Patrick Graham. Like him and Jacoby Myers. That was like the two good things that crew brought in was PG and Jacoby. Like that's basically it. Everything else was kind of in shit, right? If he wants, if there's a defensive coordinator position, like a defensive coordinator that gets a head coaching job, he can go in there, get to a winning team, be great. If there's a defensive coordinator that gets fired because he's underperforming, but that team is still like the, good head coach, good offense, some skill players on defense that just like the Bengals, maybe. Like the Bengals defense was atrocious this season. They've got some players. Like they had the sack leader this season. They're still terrible, right? That guy gets fired. Patrick Graham goes there. That's a playoff team with Joe Burrow. Like, I hate to say it, right? But it's the truth. You'd rather be defensive coordinator for the Bengals than with the Raiders, right? So that's all very real, all very possible. He's definitely not getting a head coaching job. I'm just hoping there's a negotiation play. He's waiting on the tea leaves. Who's going to be the head coach? Who's going to be the OC? Are we going to re-sign all the defensive players? Are we going to let them go and like kind of start over, or just kind of a normal start over? There's a good chance that's what he's doing too. Because like you, Soto, he's the one coach that we just cannot let go. He's by far the best coach on our roster and has been since he got here.
Yeah. Rafi, the freaking man. My freaking my game buddy. Would you do this? 6th overall and a 3rd to Cleveland for 2nd overall pick and pay half of DeMassage's remaining 2-year, $92 million cap hit, but over 4 years. So what, $10 million a year over 4 years? I don't know if they're allowed to do that.
We need a capologist to do that math on that. But hypothetically, if we could, I don't think they would take.
I think honestly, for a second overall pick, a 6th and a 3rd round pick would probably do it. The thing is the first overall pick is so much more valued than anything else. It's a steep drop off from number 1 to number 2 as far as value goes. And then it just gets it just drops off from there, and it gets smaller and smaller from there. But that's a big drop off between number 1 pick and the number 2 pick, especially if they're not going to get a quarterback.
I also think we can. I don't think we can get a 6th. I personally think we can get a 6th in the 3rd to go up to number 2. But I think our 6th overall.
Damn, Rafi, do you have a makeup artist for this picture, dude? Look at that fucking skin, bro.
Our viewers, they know how to take a photo.
He's got the CEO collar going, no fucking suit, no tie, a little bit of the chicken chest showing. Attaboy.
I've been broadcasting 15 years, and I've never had a photo taken as good as those last 2 guys. One gym selfie. This is like a LinkedIn profile masterpiece. Rafi author.
That's AI, bro. That's got to be AI.
Looking sharp. But this is the thing. I don't think a 6th and a 3rd round is going to get us to number 2. I could be wrong. I don't think so. I think a 6th overall and a 3rd can definitely get us JJ McCarthy. And we don't have to do all this cap shit with the Browns and de-massage.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'd rather do that.
Do it too.
I'd rather do that. If JJ's
I'd draft Jackson Dart in the 2nd. I think he's a little bit. I think he's JJ McCarthy, but more mobile and a little bit bigger.
Sweeter name. God, they both have sweet names. Jackson Dart. It's just too perfect.
JJ McCarthy's just a blah name, dude. Jackson Dart's a good name.
It's a great name, and it's Jackson spelt Jaxson, like my nephew.
That's like Frankie's kid too.
Yeah. Dart. We can have like when we go to games, we can have like a dartboard over our face, like just make like a styrofoam dartboard. What would be a good name for a Jackson Dart fan? The Dart
farts.
The Dart. Well,
how many times do you think he was called Jackson Fart?
Not enough. It's just too easy. That's probably why I became a really good football player. He's like, all right, I got to be able to beat these guys up. I got to one up all these guys making fun of me. I got to be able to throw darts. Did we talk about Jacoby Myers getting to 1,000 yards? Best season of his career?
Yeah, we only talked about a couple of set the table for a few things we wanted to talk about.
Let's give some flowers where flowers are due. Jacoby Myers. I've said it before on this podcast, and I'll just as a reminder, when Josh McDaniels picked him up, I was like,
God damn it, Oakenhart. The bullseyes.
The bully bullseyes.
For the Jackson Dart.
I was so bummed on the pickup because that was the one position we had so much of was wide receiver. They just extended Hunter Renfrow, traded for Devontae Adams. Michael Mayer was just drafted. It's like we have so many holes, and we're getting another wide receiver. So being immature, I blamed him. Like I hate Jacoby Myers. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like very immature, and I put the blame on the wrong place. Again, that's JMD's second best move he made. Getting PG number 1, getting Jacoby Myers number 2. He's like a really, really, really high-end wide receiver 2 and can be your wide receiver 1 if you need him to.
He's definitely an excellent wingman to Brock Bowers because he's teetering on it by himself. He's teetering that number 1 high-end number 2 receiver anyway, but you put a guy like Bowers going to get more attention. I mean, you put a guy like freaking that could like T-Mac in with those 2 guys. Holy smokes. Definitely going to make whatever quarterback is there, going to make things a lot easier for him there. Let's see here. Jackson Dart Vader. I like that.
It's Raidery.
Dart Vader. I like that.
Bullseyes. We'll work on it. It's a work in progress. If he has a terrible game He's the dart board because we're all bored.
Oh God. Can we cut that in post?
Fuck no. My best work.
That's terrible.
I'm very dart bored right now.
That's terrible.
When he comes off the bench, you're playing darts.
Oh God.
What's the dart game? Is it called cricket? We have to get the 20, the 19, 18.
Yeah.
Something there. I got to think about it. I'm not drinking, so my brain's not working as good as it could be. It's not well massaged. It's not lubricated properly.
Let's see here. Let's see what we're doing.
Running dry.
Yeah, that's awful. That's awful. You need to do better than that.
What else? Adam Butler put himself on the must re-sign list.
Yeah, he's been on there.
That Butler down was beautiful.
There's Butler. There's is Chase on still signed?
Let me get to over the cap. Figure this out here.
Chase on Snowden. Yeah, let's go to over the cap. Let's look at that. Put on the board. Put it on the board.
Let's do some shit.
Yes.
2025. How do I? Oh, free agency button. God damn it, go away. Ads, pop-up ads. All right, here we go. Okay. Free agent signings based on current APA. Eps we can lose. Spillane ain't going to be cheap.
Eps we can lose Eps.
Yeah, Eps we can lose. Spillane got to keep. It's not going to be cheap.
Bryant's gone. Jenkins is probably gone.
Whitehair, I think we can keep for
Madison gone. For cheap. Pete gone. Got to keep Merrick.
Merrick's going to be expensive,
but he's good.
I think he's going to be the hardest one to keep.
But he's damn good. Abdullah, I would like
to keep him for cheap. Yeah,
I would like to keep Abdullah at the right price.
We can do it the same exact number. Watch, guaranteed. 1.8 mil. 30. No one's looking for a 32-year-old running back for more than 1.8 mil. We can get him for that or cheaper. I say keep him for that. Butler, we're gonna have to pay.
Butler, yes. Kuntz, I would love Kuntz at a nice salary, coming off of an injury, maybe a shorter contract, kind of a prove it thing. And we could extend them afterwards, but the
injury helped. Sadly, it helped in keeping him.
Diablo, I'm fine if we let him walk.
Such a sweet name. Chase on. I wonder what market he's going to command. I'm very curious because he flashed here and there.
He was a first-round pick. The fact that he was a first-round pick and finally put it together at the end of this season is going to bode very well for him. There's going to be a pass rush needy team that's going to go after this guy.
You can never ever escape your draft position. Mark my words. You can
because the thing is he has the physical traits, and when you put it together on the field with the physical traits, your ceiling is so much higher. And he's shown that he put it on the field. Hopefully, he has some allegiance to the Raiders as far as giving them a chance and having them flourish. And we want to pay him, and he sticks around.
And it goes both ways. Like if you're an undrafted free agent, would you keep producing? Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, what did they see? He wasn't that high drafted." It's always gonna haunt you. And if you're a super super high pick, it's always gonna bump you. It's always the case. So that he only played 43% of snaps, but I think he turned enough heads. And again. First rounder. Holmes gone. Marshall probably practice squad. Ritter gone.
Terrence Marshall is like an anomaly for me. Mm-hmm. This dude has all the physical tools in the world. He's big. He's fast. He's got nice hands. I just don't know what it is that keeps him from putting it together.
Yeah, he gone.
Ritter's gone.
Ritter practice squad maybe. Maybe practice squad Ritter. Palomau, we could probably keep for. I think we're gonna get him for cheaper than we think because he was drafted so low, and he played so well, but he wasn't a stat guy. He didn't have a ton of interceptions or make a bunch of highlights. Or
he forced 3 fumbles.
He forced 3 fumbles, but he did. You know what I mean?
Games.
That doesn't make highlights. You know what I mean? It's like his. I think he played really, really well, but not flashy enough where people be breaking the doors down for him. There'll be some smart scouts that see his tape and will make an offer, but I also wonder how much players like Patrick Graham, like his system, like him, if that's going to be an influence of keeping Patrick, or we want to keep Patrick Graham, but if he goes or stays, I wonder how much it's going to affect the DBs. I have no clue. I have no clue what players think of PG. No idea. Hobbs is another interesting one. Hurt all the time. A couple of really good seasons.
Drafted he had an unlucky season this season. I think they shut him down early. I think that if it would have been something to play for, he would have played. But I would like to have Hobbs back. Janarius Robinson is a whatever for me. I would like to have DJ Turner back. But again, he's a kind of a whatever guy as well. And the rest of the guys are just, I mean, I would like to keep Snowden. What is that?
Never have too much depth on the edge.
What is an ERFA?
I don't know.
Something restricted free agent.
Extra restricted. He's really extra restricted.
Is he punished? Was he kissing his girlfriend?
ERFA.
Was he kissing his girlfriend in the hallway too? Exclusive rights. You put a tender on him. You put a tender on him. Yeah. That's what it is. You put a draft pick tender and it has to get approved. Yeah,
there's a lot of decisions to make. Luckily, I mean, not luckily, but it's like the good part of not having a franchise quarterback is we got a shit ton of cap space. So if we go rookie quarterback, I think they're going to try to keep everybody. You know, basically all the guys we talked about, like the guys that want to keep it expensive, Spillane, Merrig, Hobbs, those guys. Butler might even turn some real heads, even at 31. He's old for that position, but you know, what, 2 good years left in him, minimum?
He's got a couple good years left in him. And he's freaking massive, dude. Tankathon has us taking Will Johnson at 6.
Oh, Tankathon does an actual mock? Oh.
Yeah, they have Shador 1.
I think this says mock.
2, Hunter 3, T-Mac 4. Dude, T-Mac and freaking May together, holy crap. Mason Graham. I love Mason Graham, dude. I love me some Mason Graham. He's a white freaking Wilkins. He's the same dude. Huge. Look at his size.
Wilkins.
He's not super tall. He's a big dude, but he's quick. He plays on the inside. Yeah, but I mean, Will Johnson's a freaking stud. Will Johnson, Abdul Carter. I'm fine with either one of those dudes.
Will Johnson. Okay.
Let's see. Round 2, they have us getting Quinn Ewers. Oof.
He just has too much going for him. You know what I mean?
We'll see in the pre-draft, you know, all the lead up. But if Dart is available, ooh, Caleb Johnson in the 3rd. I like that. Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. That's a sleeper for me. Big receiver, huge hands, can freaking run like out of the freaking. Like, he's super fast, big kid. Put up good numbers at Iowa State. That's not bad for me, man. Go to Iowa State in the 3rd round. I like that.
You know, those corn-fed white boys. Those just corn-fed boys out of Iowa. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this
stuff's going to move so much.
They have Jackson Dart going 99 overall. Oof. I may have gone like Sanjeet said, Connerly. They'll talk a lot of Oregon in the 2nd round, and then pick up pick him up in the 3rd. But
this offseason, and this isn't hyperbole, ladies and gentlemen, is the most important offseason in 20 years for the Raiders. Tom Brady coming in, needing a quarterback. We have more draft capital than any other team in the league. We have the 2nd most cap space of any team in the league. We have franchise-altering position players in Maxx Crosby, Brock Bowers, the best kicking tandem in football, and no like massive holes outside of the biggest holes. Head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback, running back room, right? This is going to decide the next 8-10 years of this franchise this offseason. More ineptitude, more lack of decision making, just patching up holes. Head coach that's just kind of like, yeah, we got who we can get. He was willing to come here. No one else would. Or did we grab the coaching search by the balls and make it work and did whatever it takes, like got on the horn instead of pretending like, well, this guy doesn't really, I only want guys that want to be Raiders. Fuck that. We want the best. We want the best at everything. We can afford it. We have the draft capital for it. And the idea is that Tom Brady is going to have the cachet to pull it off. Like, this is a huge offseason. We have no excuse not to do everything right. We have all the resources, the entire support structure necessary. Like one of the best stadiums in football. Like, it's all there.
Yeah.
Just need the right decision maker to do it.
Everything is really kind of lining up for us with the decisions we have to make. From what I've seen what I saw in the press conference, and what I think RJ and I have been talking about for the last month and a half, 2 months or so, AP's not going to be back. I don't think he's ready. I believe he feels he's not ready to be a head coach. That's how I feel about the whole thing, and I don't think we're the only ones. The head coach and the two coordinators, if it's not Patrick Graham. And what are we going to do at quarterback? I'm not so much worried about who's going to be the next quarterback as far as who's going to start the season, because it very well may be Favre starting the year off as a bridge quarterback until the quarter, like a Jacoby Brissett before May was able to start. We get this guy, we get a young guy in. If it's yours, if it's Dart, if it's someone else, whoever it is, as long as our coaches know what to do with them, and they have more high-end traits. That the quarterbacks that you're seeing that are in the playoffs right now, those quarterbacks have high-end traits, and more than just one. And not only that, their offensive systems are built around what they do well. That's what we need, and that's why all this stuff is lining up for us to, we have a decent team when healthy, with a lot more depth now that a lot of the young players got a lot of time. I mean, some of these undrafted guys that we didn't really know, and some of these guys that we picked up off the scrap heap, like the Chase-ons and guys like that.
You have like 6 starting defensive ends now out of nowhere because all these guys got playing.
And the thing is, well, the way that the NFL is going, you see, like there's not too many Vita Veas out there in the world, like Vontae Sweats and stuff like that. There's no like 380-pound defensive tackles anymore. You got to be able to pass rush from the defensive tackle spot. So you can move these guys around situationally, especially with all the throwing going around the NFL. So you can keep a lot of guys. You can keep a lot of these guys. And we got a lot of young guys, even at tackle, So I really am like Taulu, like he freaking played really well today too. He's a young guy that we got from who was it? From Seattle's practice squad or something like that. Or was it Indy? I think it was Indy. There's a lot of young guys on this team that can play. We just need, how much better would they be with a Maxx Crosby on one end and a Malcolm Kuntz on the other and a Wilkins in the middle? How much better would these guys be? We could put them together. How much better would the secondary be when the quarterback has 0 time to throw the ball? How much better would these linebackers be when they're double teaming 2 guys on the friggin' line?
Speaking of, Sam DeMan, we love you. Spillane hasn't done much lately. He had 16 fucking tackles today. He had 16 tackles. He led the league in tackles for like the first third of the season. And that's without Maxx Crosby, Christian Wilkins, a bunch of guys off the scrap heap in front of him. Again, like Soto just said, imagine if we had this all-star defensive line healthy, that's like there and ready to go.
I wouldn't give him a long-term deal. He's 30. He plays a really tough position.
3-year deal. He's playing his best.
Two guaranteed, a little funny money on the third to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can ride off into the sunset at 32.
I think we build a 2-year team right now. a 2-year team with free agent season contracts. Obviously, you're always building for the future. You're always trying to get younger, better at everything, right? But I think we try to win next season, of course. And then we try to peak in 2 seasons. I think we do like 2-year contracts for these like older guys. And we get a quarterback that's, if it's a developmental guy, whatever, we plan on him being Super Bowl ready in 2 seasons. I think that should be the game plan.
50+ media trade a 6 for Joe Milton. It's going to take more than a 6 to get Joe Milton. With what he showed today, it's going to take a lot more than that.
Well, there's a fantastic NFC North game on right now that I would love to go watch. We'll leave you at that. That's it for the season, boys. We did it. Our Super Bowl is draft day, like too many seasons, but we had some highs, we had some lows, we had some ups, we had some downs. Now we get to enjoy football the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. Rooting against the Chiefs, because that's really all I care about this postseason. That those motherfuckers don't three-peat. That's my hope, and that's my goal. That's what I cling on to. Hate's a powerful motivator.
Isn't it?
We love all you guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
and it never gets old that you guys vent with us, celebrate with us, cry with us, drink with us. Appreciate you.
Guys, make sure everybody like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you enjoy the content that we bring you, don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. Share it with the world. Tell everyone you know. Tell your friends. Tell your haters. Tell your mama's friends and your haters' mamas about the autumn windbags. And we're going to continue to bring you content throughout the year.
The real work begins now. The real work begins. Like, the season's over, but now you really got to keep your fingers on the pulse of everything, because there's a lot going to happen this offseason with our high draft pick, all this draft capital, all this cap space. What's Tom Brady going to do? What's the head coaching situation? What's up with Patrick Graham? What's up with Maxx Crosby? Like, it's going to be a wild offseason, boys. Stay close.
Oh, yeah. Sam DeMan sneaking in with the good one. At least it won't be 49ers Chiefs again. No, you got that right.
Count your lucky stars. You got to find the W's where you can as a Raider fan. We'll be back next on Thursday. We'll actually we'll go live when AP gets fired. If it's not today, we'll try to go live when AP gets fired. Talk about the repercussions and all that. But until then, knock on wood if you're with me. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.